Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Abhinav. How are you?
Fine, ma'am.
Okay, good.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Siddharth. How are you?
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Moksha.
Ma'am, where is the parent-teacher session again for math exam?
Abhinav, I'll just let you know about that. Most probably the teacher has to be free. So we have the two plans. Either we will be keeping the PTM for all, like how we were like keeping, or else if not, then at least I'll ask ma'am to take one-on-one, like how I conducted yesterday. Same way, let her take it. Fine. So I'll be dropping a message maybe by tonight or by tomorrow. Okay. So during that time, you can join and whatever, ma'am, she wanted to tell, you can have the conversation with her.
Yeah, ma'am.
So let me start now. So we'll be winding up the chapter today, and the last topic is reproductive health. And this topic is actually a very, very common problem which is happening nowadays, and especially in our India, actually. So you all might have heard about the word rapes, all those things are there. It means unwanted sex, or with the unknown person,
Good
sometimes the
evening, ma'am.
male, they are forcing the female to have the good evening, Arya. So sometimes the unwanted person, known person, they are forcing that female to have the sex. And sometimes husband wife also, they have actually this problem. And when the husband and wife they have it, we do not call it as rape, but yes, definitely if they are not doing it willfully, then we call it as like the force actually. So it has not to be done like that. So if a person, if both the person, the male and female, they wanted to have the sexual intercourse, then only they should have. Otherwise, it should not be done at all. Because see, it is not a easy process. So in this process, there will be problems occurring in the body of the female. The female will not feel comfortable because ultimately, when the penis will go inside the body of a female, during that time, as like we have discussed in the last class also, that penis will get erect. right? When the penis get erect, the size of the penis will increases. And why does it increases? It is increases because of the flow of the blood. The blood will be pushed down there, and because of that, the muscles of the penis will get erect. Now that enlarged penis basically have a large size, and when we compare the vagina of the female, it is very small, right? So when now this penis has been inserted into the body of the female, those start creating problem, and start creating, some of the pain in the body of the female. So that is the reason it should not be done forcefully. And most of the time, like, the person, some of the person, especially the male, they will be so addicted to of all these things that uh, they will be, doing the rape
Clearly,
and all those things. Good evening. So they will be doing all those rape kind of thing to just to satisfy themselves. It's like, that should not be done. So if a husband and a wife, they are doing it, then in that case it is called as a reproductive health. Why we have to be, what we should do during this time, and what should not be done, what precautions the husband and wife they should take care of it, and those things, like, we will be learning in the this last topic of the chapter. So reproductive health is a total well-being in all aspect of the reproduction. So we have spoken about the whole chapter reproduction, right? So during whole process, be it the gamete formation, be it the puberty also, like puberty, it will be, then the gamete formation will be there, then the fertilization will be there, all those things, right? The menstrual cycle will be there. So during all these aspects of reproduction, what happened? The most important thing which is important is the physical, emotional, social, and behavioral. So the person health matters a lot, be it male, be it the female. And it's not only always the male are at fault. Sometimes nowadays, like, it's happening that the females are also, creating, they're also seducing the male, and they're creating the problem. So reproductive health is nothing but as a total aspect of the reproduction, where the physical health is important, emotional health is important, social health is important, and the behavioral health is also important. So when these all aspects are there, then we can say that the person has a good reproductive health. Now there are certain problems and the strategies we should look on for this reproductive health. The first thing, increasing population. Now what is happening, every home will have, two kids, three kids, some will have like the five also. So this now increase in the population can create lot of problem, because the demand will be there for the food, demand will be there for each and every natural resources, and we have everything limited, right? It is not like if we'll keep on using, we will be, recharging it. We cannot do that. So increase in population has to be checked down. So it has to be controlled. Check means here it has to be controlled here by any of the ways, whether we have to educate those people, husband and wife, whether we have to, you know uh, talk about the family planning with them. So something has to be done so that the population increase can be controlled. The second thing, knowledge of reproductive organ. Then the second thing, sex education. And third thing, about the STDs. These three important things we should knowledge them about. They should know actually what is sex organ. So see, in the earlier times, when, like, some of our parents still, like, they are not aware what is sex organ. They just know that they are doing something. They are not, they, like, they still hesitate to say the word sex, right? So it should not be done in that way. So before that, they should know what are the sex organ, and how it has to be done, what is the importance of it. Then the education for the sex should be given, what should be the position, how it has to be done, where it has to reach, on which day of the menstrual cycle it has to be done. Those all education, we have to provide it to them. And then very, very important, which is STDs. They should also know about the sexually transmitted diseases, how the disease get transferred from, the male to female, or from female to male also. So this is second thing, it has to be looked on. Third thing, awareness about the birth control devices. Now, sometimes what happened, unknowingly, the father has passed the sperm into the mother's body. Now, in that case, there are certain ways, or there are certain methods which are called as the, just one minute, which are called as the contraceptive methods. They are called as contraceptive methods. Very important this is. So in the question directly, they just ask about it, that what is the other name for the birth control? It is known as the contraceptive method. So how to control the birth of a child, that is also called as contraceptive methods. So by using this contraceptive methods, the birth control can be done. So the female will be taking care, and female either through the hormonal changes, either through the pills, either through some other kind of the barriers, this can be controlled. The last one, prevention of sex abuse and sex related crimes. So this is what I was talking about, the rapes. So it should not be done. They should not abuse related something to the sex and all. They should not, do the rape certainly. And if all these parameters are being taken care of, then definitely we can eradicate the problem which is happening in our, the country. So am I clear here?
Ma'am, can you once again explain?
So we were discussing about the reproductive health. So reproductive health is nothing but in all the four aspects: physical aspect, emotional aspect, social and behavioral aspect. If a person is fit and fine, then we say them as a reproductive health is good for them. Now, for this four problems we are facing, the first one is increase in the population. So continuously the population is increasing. Because of that, it creates a problem. The second thing, they do not have, the person who do the sex, they do not have the knowledge about it. The third thing, they should know about the control devices, how the birth of the child can be controlled, and that is called as the contraceptive method. And the last one, the sex abuse should not be there. They should not abuse related anything to the sex. That should also be controlled. Now, population control, how we can control it. So, continuous increase in population may cause the scarcity of food and other natural resources, proper housing and medical care, etc. So, if the population is increasing because of the sexual intercourse, then because of that, might be the scarcity of the food can be there. We will not be getting the houses also. The medical care will also be lacking. Now, like COVID time, the same thing happened, right? The population was so huge that sending the vaccination was creating the problem, but ultimately India won in that case. So if again now more population is increasing, if any other diseases are coming, then it might again create the same problem. That is why the medical care can also be a problem for them. So frequent pregnancy also also deteriorates mother's health. Therefore, regulation of the conception required. Now, what happens if a mother is continuously, year by year, maybe after 2 years or 3 years, giving birth to the child, then the health of that mother can also be affected, because it's not easy actually. If it is normal in that case also, they will be, after some years they will be getting the problem in the uterus. And if it is the operation also, in that case, the doctor, they themselves will be saying that you should have a 3 years of gap actually. So if the first child is now, then the next child they can born only after 3 years, because the layers, they will be cutting the 7 layers of the mother's body, right, in above the uterus. So this 7 layers will be almost taking the 3 years to recover completely, and then only they can go for the next pregnancy. Before that, the doctor will not allow. And then when they go for the next pregnancy, then what happened? Instead of this year cut, they will be going to the other cut. So twice now they will be having the same problem. So preventive measures to avoid the pregnancy are called as the contraception. So contraceptions are nothing but they are the ways by which the pregnancies can be avoided. Some of the methods are, so this methods are very, very useful, children, for the board exams. They frequently ask the questions on this. So some of the methods are, the first one, barrier method. This is like very, very, very common, I guess. You might have seen the ads also, advertisement also in the TVs about the condoms, right? Those condoms that they will be giving on the, or they will be, putting on the TVs and all. So physical devices that prevent the entry of sperm into vagina during copulation. So during the time of the sexual intercourse, what happened? They have to, the sperm has to go into the vagina. Now, if the entry of the sperm is not there into the vagina, then this can be act as a barrier, right? Barrier means something should be there to stop that sperm to go into the female body. So this is what is the barrier method. So it prevents the entry of sperm into the vagina during the copulation. And also, they will be protecting them from the sexual transmitted diseases. Now, see, the male is not able, the male penis is not able to touch the female body, and the female body is not able to touch the male body, right? In between those things, what is there? The condom is there. And because of that, since no direct contact of the body is there because of that rubber of condom, then what happened? Automatically, the disease will not be transferred. Now, the first thing are the condoms, which are also called as Nirodh, NIRODH. They're the thin rubber tube worn over the penis. So what they will be doing, the boys especially, they will be wearing it on over the penis. Then femidome is also the kind of the condom, but it is for the female, not for the male. So condoms are for the male and the femidome is for the female. Then the next one, diaphragm or cervical cap. These are the rubber that fits over the cervix in the vagina. So what happens through the vagina over the cervix? It will be fitted, and it is like a kind of a cap-like structure. This was the first way. Now, second way is a chemical method. So in this, what they will be doing, they will be taking the oral pills. This also you might have seen in the TV actually advertisement. Some oral pills will be there if after the 72 hours, like within the 72 hours, if the female is taking this oral pill, then what happened? The formation of the child will not be there. So these are called as the oral contraceptive pills. They contain the hormones like estrogen and progesterone that prevents the ovulation. So because of that, what happened? The ovulation will not be there. And then second thing in the male, the spermicide cream will be there, jellies will be there, that will be applied in vagina to immobilize or kill the sperm. So these are called as the spermicides because they stop the entry of the sperm into the body of the female. So though they will release it, but the attachment will not be there. A kind of a layer will be formed over the surface of the vagina. Then this one, IUCDs, very, very important, children. This is intrauterine contraceptive devices. These are IUCDs. Now, these are the contraceptive devices made up of the copper, plastic, or the stainless steel. So, why it is actually, this is like this structure, like this it will be, like a T-shaped structure it will be. And that is why it is also called as copper T. Copper, you might have learned in the chemistry about the elements, right? And the capital T is additional because the structure look like the T actually. So that is why this is also called as copper T. These includes copper T, nipples, loop, etc. A copper T is inserted into uterus by a doctor or a skilled nurse. So what they will be doing, this structure they will be inserting into the female's body, and because of that, the fertilization will not happen. But very, very important question. This method, this IUCD method or this copper T can only control the pregnancy. It cannot control the sexually transmitted diseases. So with the help of this, the fertilization will not happen, the birth will not be happening, but the disease can be transferred from the male to female or from female to male. So they do not protect the bodies from the diseases. And the next method are the natural method, that includes the rhythm method, that is avoid copulation around the time of ovulation. So once the female has undergone the menstrual cycle, then during that time the sexual intercourse should not happen. So that is what the natural method. Don't do the sex, nothing will happen. And coitus interruptus, which is withdrawal of the penis before ejaculation. So most of the time, the couples, what they will be doing, they will be following this natural method, which is the withdrawal of the penis. So before releasing the sperm into the body of the female, they will take their penis out itself, and then outside the environment they will be releasing the sperm. Fine. So that is what it is called as a coitus interruptus. Then the
Ma'am,
last way, yeah, tell me.
ma'am, would they ask natural methods in the exam?
Definitely, definitely. They ask sometimes, and they do not ask directly, they ask in the competency based question about this. They will be giving a paragraph, and from that paragraph, they can ask these methods. What are they?
Ma'am, so do you have to use these terms, ma'am?
Yes, you have to actually,
Ma'am, because it's not more means it doesn't have more information than the before one's chemical method and the IUCDs.
No, that's okay. That's okay. See, what happens, sometimes one line is also sufficient. So just what you should learn rhythm method. See, don't write in the paragraph. Just write like this and learn also like this. Avoid copulation. Then second, coitus interruptus. So like this, write it and write their meaning, withdrawal of the penis. That's it.
Ma'am, what is meant of copulation?
Copulation means sexual intercourse. Fine, you should not do the sexual intercourse during the time of the ovulation. Ovulation means formation of the egg in the female body. And when it happens during the menstrual cycle.
Yes, ma'am.
And the last one, very, very important, this is surgical method, which is also called as sterilization. In this, two methods are there. One is for the male, another one is for the female. So vasectomy and tubectomy. Vasectomy is done on the males. It involves removal of a small portion of vas deferens. So what happened in them? The small portion of the vas deferens, they will be removing and then they will be joining with the thread. So, and ligation of two cut end with the thread. So once they remove the small portion of the vas deferens and then they join them with the thread. So by this, what happened? It prevents the sperm from coming out because vas deferens is the tube from which the sperms are coming out. Now, if they cut them and they tie them, the movement will become zero. So that is what it is done in the male. Whereas in the female, the same process will be done, but with the fallopian tube, they will be doing it. So fallopian tube, they will be cutting it and they will be tying in the thread, and because of that, the eggs will not be able to enter the uterus. Now, if the egg, yeah, tell me.
In vasectomy, vas difference is cut, right? So it's
Correct.
just passage for the cell sperms.
Correct. Yes, correct.
So will it go back if the
Yes.
block?
Yes.
What
So
happens?
once now what happened, once they require the baby, what they can do now surgically again, they can go and meet the doctor, and what do? They will be removing the thread, and with certain kind of the medicines and the treatment, they will be joining or fixing them again. So it is not like the permanent method. This all can be reversible also.
Ma'am, so the IUCDs also can be
Yes.
reversible?
This T after, like, once they require the pregnancy, what do? This structure from the body of the uterus, they will be taking it out. But nowadays, this copper T, usage is very, very less. Why? Because the female, it is happening only in the female. In the female body, the copper T will be inserted. And since now, see, imagine if in the body, in the private area, if something is being inserted, then what happened? It creates problem. So while sitting also, the female can feel the pain. While sleeping, she can feel the pain, but ultimately she don't have any other kind of solution. That is the reason she is going for the shortcut of property. But now what happened? The people are very educated one. That is why they are not going for this actually harmful method. They are going for the condoms, or the natural method they are going for. Either they will be using the condom, or before releasing of the sperm itself, the male will be taking the penis out. But yes, if for this natural method, for the coitus interruptus, the male should be very, very attentive. Because during the sexual intercourse time, what happened, the male and the female will be in some other world. And because of that, they can ejaculate the sperm also into the body of a male. So that is why if the male is very attentive during the whole process, then they can take the penis out. And if not, then definitely the formation of the child will be there. So these are some of the methods which are important for the reproductive health. Yeah, tell me.
Even if it happens in coitus interruptus, IUCDs are there, right? No, I mean like oral contraceptives are there, right?
What word? Come again, Abhinav?
Even if the natural method fails, the oral contraceptives are there, right?
Yes, it is there. But yes, it has their own limitation. Within 72 hours of the sexual intercourse, it has to be taken. And so the very negative impact of the oral pills is, the again becoming mother actually. So sometimes if now the people they are taking it, the female they are taking it, then chances of fertility decreases, and also they will be getting lot of the hormonal problem, and also so many pimples, big acne or pimples they will be getting on their face. That is why they do not go for these pills, because they are very, very heavy dose, and they reduces the fertility of the male. So that is why they are not going for this process. Now the note, female to male ratio is declining due to sex discrimination done by the amniocentesis or radio imaging techniques that are legally banned by the government. So basically, this is what actually the people they were doing in the earlier times, that through the scan through the ultrasound, they were identifying whether the child is male or female. And after knowing it, if it is a girl child, then they were, killing them in the body of a female itself. So now this has been actually banned in our India also. It is not allowed to identify the sexual, the sex of a child.
How do they identify it, ma'am?
See, there is a machine which is called as the ultrasound machine, Sumuk, and when once a female is actually, conceived, so after every 15 days she has to go for this ultrasound. With that ultrasound machine, they will be initially somewhere 1 to 2 months, they will be inserting that machine, a small, machine will be big, but that machine has a small part like this. It will be, the part will be there. That part they will be inserting into the body of female, and I don't know what kind of the radiations are there in that machine, that through this handle, like when inserted into the body of the female, it will start creating a picture into the machine, and they identify that the face of the child is here in this position, the length is this much, the growth is this much, the eyes are visible or not, the hairs are there or not, the heart is pumping or not. So that is why every month they have to go for this ultrasound kind of thing, and through that only they usually identify the sex of a child. They will be able, like doctors, they know how to understand that machine. So through that they understand like which is a girl or a boy, and they will bribe them, and they will get to know, the people will get to know. But now if anyone get to know about this process and all, or they ask doctor or they force doctor, then the doctor's license will get cancelled. So that is why it is not allowed. But out of the India, still it is going on, and there the people, they do not the kill the female girls. So that is why they have allowed till now. But here in India, it is reverse. They will be killing them. That is why they have stopped actually, informing them about this. Okay, so last one now, STDs. They are basically the communicable diseases which are caused by the bacteria, protozoa, and viruses. And they can spread from the infected person to the healthy person by the sexual contact. Gonorrhea is basically the cause by a kind of a bacteria called as the Neisseria gonorrhoeae. So this is again important. Name a disease caused by the bacteria in the humans, which is called as a gonorrhea. So gonorrhea is caused by the bacteria. Name of the bacteria is the Neisseria gonorrhoeae. Infection results in the inflammation of the mucous membrane of the urinogenital tract, rectum, throat, and eye. So if a person gets infected by this disease, then the mucous membrane of the urinogenital, it means the private part, will start creating some of the itchiness. So in the private part, the itchiness will be there. The rectum will produce some of the redness in that part. Then throat will start aching. The eyes will start, creating the mucus or sticky substance. The victim feels burning sensation and pain during the urination. So because of all these things, when they go to urinate, they can feel that pain. It spreads by sexual contact and through infected clothes also. Sometimes what happen, we wear the other person's clothes also, might be the sister, might be our brother, cousin, brother, all those. We should not do that actually. So that can also spread this disease. Penicillin and the ampicillin are used for the cure. So it can be cured, and during, if someone gets this disease, they will be given such medicines. Then syphilis is also caused by the bacterium known as a Treponema pallidum, which affects the mucous membrane of the genital, rectal, and the oral region and causes lesion. So they also do the same thing, but what happened, instead of forming the itchiness, they will be forming some kind of the rashes, actually, kind of acne or rashes on the body of a person, especially in the private part and the rectum part. Infection occurs by the sexual intercourse and occasionally by kissing or close body contact. An antibiotic like the penicillin and tetracyclines are used to cure it. Then the AIDS, it is caused by the virus. Again, a very, very important thing, the full form of AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. It is caused by the virus called as the HIV virus. So you should know the full name of it. You should know it is caused by the virus, and name of the virus also you should know, HIV virus, which is human immunodeficiency virus. It is a fast spreading incurable disease, and this disease cannot be cured in any case till now. So doctor has not got any solution to this disease. So if any person has got it, it cannot be cured. So the only thing is the death of a person. So in this, it weakens the body immune system. It spreads by unprotected sex, use of contaminated needles, transfusion of the infected blood. So in this case, these all things will be responsible for the cause of this disease. Now, since this sexual act is very intimate connection between the bodies, it is possible that many diseases can be sexually transmitted, like bacterial, such as the gonorrhea and syphilis, and viral infections, such as the warts and the HIV and AIDS. So what we should do, we have to be very, very careful that whatever sex we are doing, we have to be, using the condoms to save ourselves. The second thing, the emergency pill, as I told you, 72 hours. Within 72 hours, we should take that medicine. And these all methods, they are called as the contraceptive methods. Now, abortion, we basically where the child, it is not functioning properly, the body of the child is not functioning properly, or sometimes some problem is happening in the body of the mother. So during that time, the doctor will be advising for the abortion, and where the surgery will be done. And if the size of the child is very big, they will be doing the operation as like a normal one. And if the size of the child is minute, then they will be taking through the uterus itself out. So this abortion is also called as MTP, which means medical termination of pregnancy. Means you are going to take out your child from the body before first 3 months are over. So it can be done only when before the 3 months, not after the 3 months of the pregnancy, because it can lead to the death of a person if after the 3 months it is being done. Prenatal sex determination.
Death of which person?
Death of the
Female.
female, actually, female. And why they sometimes it happens, like in the month of 5th, in the month of 6th, in the month of 7th, sometimes the child heart does not beat, and ultimately then the doctors does not have any solution. They just go for this abortion process, and during that time then they have to do the that 7 layers they have to cut, and they have to take it out. No other problem, no other go actually for them. So this
So
happened actually, with one of the neighbor person. So she was actually she got pregnant after a long struggle and all, and ultimately everything was fine in the 3rd month, 4th month, 5th month, 6th month also was fine. And 7th month, when she went for this ultrasound to check for the normal checkup, she got to know that kind of the hole was there in the head of the person, in the head of that boy. Actually, that was boy actually. So the hole was there in the head of that boy, and ultimately the doctor said, if you are taking risk, might be after 9 months. And since the hole was in the head, might be that brain was not functioning properly, and because of that, the growth was not happening for that child. And that's the reason that doctor suggested that you have to take this the child out of the body, otherwise you will also be in the problem. So though the chances were 50-50 for both the things, for the mother also, for the child also, and ultimately when the operation was done, the child was dead and the mother was actually not so good. But yes, certainly after some months she recovered herself. So
what is
tell me.
what is the probability? What is the chance for the female to be safe, or means?
See, it depends upon the condition. Every pregnancy has a different journey. Actually, every female has a different journey for the pregnancy. So we cannot say how much of percentage. It can be 70, it can be 100, it can be 0 also. So cannot be depicted. So abortion after 22, 24 weeks or around 6 months of pregnancy is risky and not allowed. So after 6 months, it is not allowed actually. But as I told you, the head of that baby, the hole was there, the child was not growing. Definitely doctors had to remove them out. Sex ratio is abnormal in many states of India due to female feticides, which need to be prevented. And the size of human population is a cause of the great concern, and that has to be controlled. Now, why all these things are happening? Sometimes infertility problem. The male body is not fertile properly. They are not able to give birth. Have you ever heard the about the polo? There is a kind of the toffee like thing. The polo. It will be like round in
Ma'am, I
structure.
have
Yes,
listened about it, but I don't know how.
We should not eat. Actually, the male especially should not eat that polo. And in fact, the male should not eat any kind of the chewing gum kinds of thing, or which has what to say, which has the kind of mint like structure, which gives you the freshness. So polo
Why?
is very, very harmful because it has certain chemicals in it. When it goes into the body of the male, Actually, it makes the sperm infertile. And when the
Ma'am,
sperms become infertile, they cannot give birth to the young ones.
ma'am,
You tell me,
even
Aryan?
chewing gum and chocolates.
Chocolates you can have it. Chewing gum also has certainly some of the chemicals in it.
Okay.
So it should
Ma'am, I
not be
used
consumed.
used to eat polo in my childhood. So
No, it don't take it. Don't take it. Actually, don't take it because child is okay, but now
Ma'am,
you are at the
last
stage where adolescence has come, right? So it should not be. It should not be taken into the body.
last year I used to eat a lot of chewing gum.
Don't do that because
Even
you are
this year
under
also.
the. It creates a problem. See, it creates a problem not now, but definitely when when you're going to have the sexual intercourse in the future, that time the mother can have the problem actually. And generally, what happened in our India that they will start searching problem with the female's body, but these all problems happen in reality actually. This polo, this chewing gum creates problem in the body of the male, and ultimately we start abusing the females. So we should
ma'am,
not take it.
then sometime female also eat female
No, in
chewing
the
gum.
females, actually, female can have it. I don't suggest that they should have it. They can have some time, but they do not have that testosterone in the body, right? They have the other hormone, which does not have any negative impact of that chemical. So since the male has the testosterone, it creates that chemicals just go and strike to that testosterone, which creates the problem.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so healthy pregnancy is the main thing we have to focus on. The female should be healthy, fit and fine. We should give them so much of the food to eat during that time. They should
Ma'am,
not take the stress. Tell me.
does sugar also affect it? Then?
Yes, it affects, actually, it affects the pregnancy. I am a very good example of it, though I am not a diabetic person. My husband is actually. So we were not aware that he has diabetes, and diabetes can come in any point actually. We think like it comes maybe from our parents. No, it can come to the stress also. It can come because of the sugar also. So certainly, like I think in the year 2000 somewhere 21, I guess. So and during the diabetes, what happened? You will be feeling like to go washroom again and again, to urinate, to go for the pee again and again, and then after peeing, when you flush it out also, then you will be able to see some of the kind of the bubbles forming there in the water, like in the gutter of that flush, the bubbles are forming. That is an indication of the actually diabetes. Then second thing, the lips of that person who has diabetes will start dehydrating. They feel like they are very very dry kind of thing. These are some of the symptoms. And when we went for the checkup, actually he went for the normal checkup of the teeth actually, and then the doctor identified it as a diabetes. So diabetes was not letting us actually to conceive. And once that diabetes got cured, like he started taking some of the medicines and all for that, and then so everything became normal, and then finally I conceived. That is why it is important that reproductive health matters a lot for each and every thing. So any other doubt? Sumuk, Dhairya, Siddharth, Abhinav,
No,
Moksha,
no.
Siddhi, Ioneja, Rizwana, Huria. Understood, Sudhamshu?
Yes, ma'am.
Huria, Rizwana.
Yes, ma'am.
See, these are very very small things, but I think my parents also have not told me. Your parents will not tell you, right? So we are the only source who can talk about it, right? And these polo chewing gums and these kind of the refresheners, stop eating them, children. Stop eating them, because now you will be feeling, you will be you will be thinking, okay, my muscles will reduce, I will look so might be some of you are eating because of that only, like to be fit and fine, your muscles, your fat will not be showing. But ultimately this will be giving you the result in the future when you start doing the sexual intercourse. So don't eat them. And sugar also,
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
don't have the intake of sugar much, because it creates lot of problem. And diabetes, once any person get it, it's very difficult to go out of it, or not to go out of
Ma'am,
it, to come out of it. Yeah,
can we eat the jaggery?
jaggery is good actually, better than, much better than the sugar. Jaggery is much better than.
Ma'am, and another doubt. There are two types of sugars. One is brown and one is in white color.
The brown one you should eat. The white one, crystal one, you should completely avoid that. Harmless. They are the very, harmful there one. And the brown one is like good.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, children, then. There anything else?
No, ma'am.
Nothing, ma'am.
Okay, children, thank you. So now from the next week onwards, we will be starting with the next chapter. I think most probably you have suggested me the control and coordination. So we'll start that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, children, then. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye.